We begin with a common biological failure. A professional wakes up, dragging their body out of bed against a heavy mechanical resistance. This subject consumed well over 2,000 calories the day before. The body possesses abundant raw fuel, yet they are still experiencing profound morning lethargy and cognitive fog. This points to a cellular bottleneck. Raw caloric fuel, like carbohydrates and fats, cannot spontaneously convert into kinetic energy. They require specific chemical catalysts to initiate the metabolic reaction. These catalysts are vitamins, organic compounds that act as the structural regulators of the human engine, dictating everything from metabolic rate to tissue repair. To understand this fatigue, we must determine if the system is actually lacking fuel or if the cellular machinery is starving for the micronutrients required to process it. This dashboard tracks our subject's metabolic state over a 24-hour cycle. To map exactly why their system is breaking down, we have to look at how the body processes these chemical inputs. The foundational rule of vitamin categorization is physical solubility. The body divides these catalysts into two categories: water-soluble and fat-soluble. The aqueous group, the B complex and vitamin C, carry a biological vulnerability. Because they dissolve in water, the human body has no capacity to store them long-term. Any excess is filtered through the kidneys and flushed via urine. This mechanism creates a strict daily requirement for replenishment. Over a standard 8-hour sleep cycle, the body continuously clears these aqueous compounds. Our subject wakes up exhausted because their system begins the day with a zero balance of essential energy catalysts. It is now 07 a.m. The subject consumes a morning meal, demanding immediate energy synthesis. To extract power from that food mass, the body requires the B complex group. These specific coenzymes are responsible for metabolic conversion. They operate at the cellular level to turn raw glucose into ATP, the primary currency of cellular energy. With sufficient B vitamins, red blood cells flow through the vascular system, accelerating as they are energized by newly synthesized ATP molecules. A deficit in B12 halts this process. The breakdown presents as specific lagging indicators: tingling neuropathy in the extremities, mouth ulcers, and measurable drops in cognitive recall. Correcting this energy deficit requires targeted biological inputs. The B complex is extracted from dairy, sprouted grains, eggs, and lean meats. Alongside energy production, the morning demands ascorbic acid, or vitamin C. This compound serves a dual function, providing the primary fortifier for the immune system and the catalyst for synthesizing skin collagen. Failing to intake these aqueous coenzymes early in the day leaves the subject's nervous system and immune defenses functionally compromised for the rest of the waking hours. Advancing the timeline to 1300, the subject is under continuous load at work. The biological priority shifts from rapid energy generation to structural maintenance, governed by the fat-soluble vitamins. The absorption mechanic here changes. These compounds bind to dietary fats to bypass the renal flush, allowing them to be stored in the liver and adipose tissue. Once firmly attached to a stable lipid transport molecule, they integrate directly into the complex structural cellular architecture. Calciferol, or vitamin D, functions as a secosteroid hormone. It provides the necessary chemical signal to anchor calcium to the skeletal structure. Without sufficient calciferol, synthesized through midday ultraviolet exposure or fortified dairy, dietary calcium is poorly absorbed and eventually excreted by the body. Tocopherol, or vitamin E, provides secondary structural defense. Extracted from nuts, seeds, and oils, it is a potent antioxidant that defends cellular walls against oxidative stress and premature aging. While aqueous vitamins provide the daily metabolic spark, lipid-soluble vitamins provide the structural safeguards required to prevent physical degradation over time. At 1900, the subject is experiencing evening physical strain. The body now prepares for recovery, relying on the final two lipid-soluble catalysts, vitamins A and K. Retinol, or vitamin A, executes a critical function for the ocular system. After a day of screen exposure, it rebuilds the visual receptors and maintains the moisture of cellular membranes. The whole food matrix delivers retinol primarily through pigmented organic sources, specifically egg yolks, or beta-carotene from orange and yellow crops like carrots and papaya. Phyloquin, or vitamin K, operates as the biological clotting agent. Its role is to locate and patch the microscopic vascular damage sustained during the day's physical movement. To initiate this repair protocol, the system requires inputs from dark leafy greens, such as broccoli and spinach. The evening meal serves as the critical window to supply these lipid-soluble compounds, facilitating overnight vascular patching and cellular repair. This wireframe maps how the body communicates chemical gaps. It uses physical symptoms as lagging biological indicators of specific nutrient deficits. When the ocular nerves report night blindness or chronic dry skin, the system is identifying a retinol deficit in the cellular matrix. Bleeding gums during morning hygiene signal an interruption in collagen synthesis caused by a lack of ascorbic acid. Persistent skeletal pain and erratic mood swings correlate to a lack of calciferol, which prevents the body from anchoring calcium to the bone. Treating these lagging indicators with generic painkillers nearly masks the symptom. The system requires the missing molecular catalyst to resolve the underlying structural failure. The common response to these deficits is to consume a highly concentrated multivitamin pill to fill all chemical gaps at once. But an isolated synthetic pill often fragments rapidly in the digestive tract. Its particles scatter without effectively crossing the intestinal barrier. Natural food structures contain cofactors and dietary fats that stabilize these micronutrients, facilitating their transport across the intestinal lining. Consuming a multivitamin with only water makes the lipid-soluble vitamins largely ineffective. Without accompanying dietary fats, those compounds pass through the system unabsorbed. Extracting vitamins from their natural cellular structures reduces their bioavailability. A diverse, whole food diet is the most efficient method for delivering these catalysts into the bloodstream. Managing this biochemical intake requires a visual heuristic known as the rainbow diet. The natural pigmentation of whole foods acts as a color-coded map to their underlying chemical structures. Dark green pigmentation indicates phyloquinone. Vibrant oranges signal retinol. Bright yellows announce abundant ascorbic acid. By utilizing food pigmentation to ensure chemical diversity, our subject can restore the system to metabolic equilibrium. The human body is a highly efficient engine, but it cannot run on empty calories. Metabolic efficiency is achieved only when the system has the full array of biochemical catalysts required to complete its energy cycle.